Hello then, it's 11 o'clock in the morning on the 25th of October 2012. It's a Thursday, I'm in Bath, UK. And thank you for all of the responses I've had to these YouTube videos. It started something like 12 days ago as an experiment and it's going ballistic. I'm not quite sure what to do with it, and that's the truth. Anyway, the single biggest thing that people are asking for is stuff on Saturn in Scorpio. So let's go there. What we have to get with Saturn, and you only really get as you get older, plus post 40, is that Saturn does work in 7-year cycles and 29-year cycles. And for examples of what I've got Saturn in Scorpio, and I'm coming up to my second Saturn return. The last time Saturn was in Scorpio, from a UK perspective, was the time when we saw an 18-month to 2-year miners strike, which is very scorpionic, from the depths, from the dark, from the deep, from underground. There's power struggles going on. This time, just in the last 3 weeks, just since Saturn's moved into Scorpio, we've seen a lot of sudden undercurrents coming up. There's a scouring, a purging, an examining and hopefully an eliminating of some of the more viral, toxic and degrading elements of society. I'm British, so I can only speak from a British stroke English perspective. But just in the last 3 weeks, we've seen elements of the police force suddenly having to investigate themselves for their behaviour during both the miners' strike in 29 years ago and particularly at the Hillsborough police disaster. We're also seeing, just in the last 3 weeks, a sudden upsurge in revelation of sexual perversion amongst public figures. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. Until Saturn stabilises on its first pass through Scorpio, which will not be until the end of December, we're going to see more and more revelations, not just Britain, worldwide, about abuses of power, sexual degradation, financial manipulation, and power struggles, but it's gone beyond the banks. This is Saturn in Scorpio going right across the board. And Saturn, at the moment, Saturn and Pluto are dancing well. It's fine. Go with it, folks. Those of you that have a clean conscience have nothing to hide and nothing to be scared of. It's all about conscience now. You're going to see a lot of famous people coming up to be examined for things that happened 29 years ago or more. This is Saturn in Scorpio. It was to say it'll calm down by Christmas as Saturn begins to slow down and start retrograding. Saturn's principle is clean in Scorpio. It says, look, you're going to examine this, you're going to go to the bottom, and whilst you're down at the bottom, you might as well get the scouring pad out and really go for it. Pull out all the poison, eliminate all the toxin, cleanse, purge, detox, purify, eliminate, prepare for transformation. Saturn and Scorpio in Pluto's sign, while Pluto's in Capricorn, Saturn's sign, for the next 2.5 years. They're dancing so well with each other that we're going to see some type of rebirth. And here the upper side of this is Phoenix energy. Out of this will kind of come a new morality, not based on fear, porn, sex, power, or even religion, but based on conscience and transparency. A much more humanitarian approach to feminism, to nature, to environment, and to conscience. Because if these things aren't part of the human future, what kind of future is it going to be? I'm ranting. I'm going to stop there. Saturn and Scorpio. I'm biased. I've got it, so I can't say anything. I'm going to close this one down. I'll post again in a couple of hours with a forecast for the coming 3 days whilst I'm away in central London, giving readings to members of the public. So for those of you that are interested, contact me at steve@stevejudd.com or astrojudd@hotmail.com. I've still got a few spaces left. Catch you in a couple of hours.